Yes, this is Mr. Controversy, and this is the infamous three-point conversion station. Keep it locked.
Yes. We are back inside the three-point conversion sports lounge. And I am your host, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? Back on another great Saturday once again. Very excited. So much to get into. You know, with sports is always drama, and when there's drama, is always stuff to talk about. And of course, it's another week where it's drama. I'm not doing this by myself. First, I got my engineer handling the business, as they say in the street, handling the business. My man G. What up, G?
Yo.
And I got D Intellectual. What up, D?
Yes. What up, though?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. Where we at? Hey, D, I know that I feel like I'm in the studio, man. Turn me up a little bit. The next one. Yeah. That's too loud. All right, right there. All right, yeah. So, but, man, it was a crazy week full of surprises, big stories, big games. It's a lot to get into, y'all, man. But first of all, man, how you doing, D? You good?
I'm good, man. Can't complain, man. It's been raining here a lot. It was a crazy week. Had allergies. You know, it's becoming that season for the allergies, so it's getting crazy.
I know, right? Yeah, man. That sleeping weather, you know. So, but look, today's show, we're going to start it off. We got to talk about this Rookie of the Year. Who's the Rookie of the Year? Who's going, you know, we know it's between Luca and Trae, but we're going to get into it on who will win it, why, can Trae come back? There's so much to get into with that. Then we got the NFL Combine going on this weekend, and it's a lot of interesting topics with that, you know, especially with the Kyler Murray situation and who should go number one. Also, we're talking Major League Baseball. Bryce Harper finally signed.
Finally.
So now we can get on with baseball. But how is this going to affect the Atlanta Braves and the Eastern Division, National League Eastern Division? Plus, you know, what's going on with these Denver Nuggets and NBA? And are the Celtics, is it a wrap for the Celtics? Can they come back from this? We might as well say Kyrie's gone, right? We don't know, but we're going to get into that also. And also we have Deshaun Tate coming in talking college basketball with us, college hoops. And then we have Dr. Donnie Fowler III from Atlanta, the orthopedic from Ortho Atlanta. He's giving us some analysis on these injuries. So make sure you stay tuned, follow the three-point conversion. You can listen to us live on the radio locally here at 1100 AM WWE, The Real. Also, you can watch us live on Facebook, on the Three-Point Conversion Facebook page. Also, we're on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Radio Now. We're everywhere. So make sure you let your family and friends know they can tune in. It's time to get to these quick hits. Let's get it. All right, first of all, last night was crazy. Atlanta Hawks and the Chicago Bulls played 4. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Overtimes. Quadruple overtime.
That was a game, too, bro.
Yeah, and the Bulls won 168 to 161. Trae had 49 points and 16 assists and 8 rebounds. Zach LaVine had 47 points, 9 assists, and 9 rebounds. Man, that was
a game, man. I think that was the third highest most points ever in a game. All kind of records, all kind of things. That was crazy. That was a crazy game.
Yeah.
Trae did his thing too.
Yeah, it was like the Bulls wanted to lose because they had the lead with. It was a wrap. They had a nice lead with like 6-point lead.
They trying to play their way out of the top 5 pick.
I guess, man. I don't know. They was winning, but I let you know the players not tanking.
Players don't tank.
But I want to talk to G. G happened to be there with all this excitement. How great was it, G?
So exciting. It was so exciting. The one thing that was interesting to see with the Hawks is that they were down by like 13 in the fourth, and were able to come back. You know, knowing some teams might pack it in, or it's just like, hey, it's not our night. But they were able to come back, and Trae hit the 3 at the end of regulation, about 2 seconds left. Thought it was over. Then that questionable foul called on Dedmon. Porter was able to hit all 3 free throws.
Yeah, that was pressure too.
Yeah, because there was only 0.4 on the clock. But I think everybody was cool, like with it going to overtime. But once it went into the third overtime, people started leaving. It went to a third overtime, and people started filing out. Like, I mean, it's not a school night.
Bob Rathman was lying because he was like, "It's the fourth overtime, nigga. No one has left the building." I'm like, that
people
can't
were leaving. People were leaving.
You could see though. Like, you could see, because I was watching it. You could see it was, I mean, come on, man. It was like 11, 12 o'clock.
Yeah, like nobody.
What time was it when it ended?
I think it was like 11:30.
Yeah, it started like a 7 o'clock game.
7:30. Yeah,
like, come on, man.
5 o'clock. Moving on. Man, I hope G has a video of this. I don't know if he does or not, but I wish he did. The San Francisco Giants CEO Larry Baer apologized Friday night after the video that surfaced from TMZ, of course, showing him in an altercation with his wife during an argument over his cell phone at San Francisco Park. It showed him. G, do you have a video?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now. It's only about 20 seconds.
That's fine. But if you watch the video, if you're on Facebook watching this, it showed him reaching. It showed him reaching for his cell phone. He's attempting to reach for his cell phone. His wife was shouting as like, no, and he took it. And as he was grabbing from her, she was in the chair and she fell down. And then you see him walk away with the phone. She stayed at the chair, made her tip over, but it wasn't that him. He didn't hit her or nothing like that. They love each other. It's just a regular argument, like regular people. So what's your take on it, D?
Man, it's crazy because I saw it is kind of like, two people, people that's in a relationship kind of doing things. It's not like he hit her or threw her. It's nothing like that. But it also kind of is your San Francisco. You're the owner and you videos and, things happen like that. But he didn't want her in that phone. Like what you looking for? What, give him a phone. What you looking for? He did what most dudes gonna do if they.
I'm gonna tell you, the funny thing is, first of all, if you're the owner, why is she going through your phone?
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is, you need to have somebody. You have somebody on staff that keep that under lock. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me shut up. I ain't gonna give all that.
Or maybe at least have 2 phones.
3.
Some people might say that's the mistake Tiger Woods made. He only had 1 phone.
Yeah, like, dog, you too big to be having just 1 phone, and you got you. Nah, you need to have a foreman or somebody. Look, he should have had old boy that was with Kareem Hunt. Remember when Kareem Hunt snatched the phone from the friend? Was like, man, give me that phone.
No, when you got that much money, man, it's supposed to be in order anyway.
Oh, yeah, you should have
I
that.
don't care how many phones you got or nothing. It's supposed to be in order.
Yeah.
If you got money to own a team, it's in order. You know what I mean? Like, it is. It is what it is.
But anyway, we'll get away before we get in trouble. Moving on. Veteran center Paul Gasol will be bought out by the San Antonio Spurs. But it's been reported that he is suspected to sign with the Milwaukee Bucks. Do you like the move?
Man, I love that move. Milwaukee loading up. You see they bench? Adding Paul Gasol coming off the bench. You got Mirotic coming off the bench. They looked good last night. Lakers gave them their best punch.
But my thing is, all right, they get Powell.
Mm-hmm.
Powell hadn't, in the last, 40 minutes he played, maybe 3 minutes combined. I know he's a shell of himself, but
you only need him for 16 minutes a game.
Can he do that, though?
I'm sure he can. Last year he was playing, 20-some minutes a game. He was putting up decent numbers. This year, just because of the way the Spurs are kind of making a youth movement, they wasn't giving him much time.
Right.
And, of course, the way the game changed. So they just need him just to get out there and give me a good 10, 15 minutes. He might come and play 7 minutes some game, but he might get out there and give him a good 7 minutes.
Right. Moving on, the Dallas Cowboys defensive player Randy Gregory and David Irvin have been suspended for substance abuse violations. Also, Adam Pac-Man Jones was arrested after being publicly intoxicated with resisting arrest and disorderly conduct. Also, the bombshell, former Baltimore running back Alex Collins, who was released by the Ravens, got arrested after a car crash. And now he has charges tied to drugs and guns. Wow. What's going on with the NFL?
Man.
What's going on with the NFL? I'm talking to you, D. What's going on with the NFL?
Man, it's crazy. First off, Gregory it's probably over for him. Probably Irvin too. But it depends on what the indefinite suspension is. Because what's his Gregory longest was? 4 games or 6 games previous? Do you remember?
With Gregory, he was suspended for a season.
See, it might be over for him for a season. Because after a season, it's a ban until they think about what's going to happen, right?
And they just say indefinitely.
Right.
That's going to be at least a year.
Yeah. So that's bad. The NFL it's crazy. It's crazy.
So what does it say about? Quickly, what does it say about? I guess the league in itself, as far as, because I asked that because I don't remember what year it was. Mm-hmm. Remember that one year everybody was getting in trouble,
mm-hmm.
and it was like they were rebelling because remember at that time Goodell threw the shoe at everybody. Look, y'all, we don't tolerate this at all, or whatever. But then the next year, they rebelled and everybody was getting in trouble.
So I don't think it's that, right? So I think to be a football player anyway, you have to be aggressive, right? And I think that's one of the things that I don't want to say people don't understand, but that's the real thing about football is you're an aggressive person, right? You like to get hit, you like to hit. So I think that's why we see a lot of football players in more trouble than other people. It's not just NFL football players, it's college football players, it's high school football players,
right?
Because they are just aggressive people anyway. And then they're big, they're brute, they're going to come off more aggressive than anyone anyway.
But what does that have to do with substance abuse? That don't have anything to do with that. I'm saying they need to get that together.
Some questionable decisions might get made. Some players don't want to go through taking these pills and all these shots. They'll do, rather do something else. Because Alex Collins was arrested with weed, basically.
Right, and probably had a gun. Is just having a gun kind of, but you should probably have have a license.
But going back to
when you got drugs and a gun, it's not going to matter anyway if you have a license. Regardless, you're going to get that gun charge.
Well, going back to what G said, it's a great segue because Adam Silver on Friday said that social media and anxiety plays a role in NBA players being unhappy. He's talking about. And this is the thing with the MIT social, I forgot what it was, but this is where they just talk.
Conference.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily we're about to do this now, but he talked about that and talked about, I wonder if marijuana would be legalized in the NBA. I wonder. I personally think it might be the first sport. Professional sports besides Big Three.
With that being said, it probably is good because, like you're saying, he's talking about anxiety and social media. So imagine having 5 million followers, right? And then you every time you post something, as much as you say you're not looking at it or you're not watching it, you see this, right? And it causes anxiety. Imagine if you can light up and don't have to worry about nothing. You're like, yeah, I don't care about that. As opposed to always seeing somebody on your Instagram or your Facebook or your Twitter always saying something negative or saying you didn't do this or saying you're not doing that. So, I mean, it could be a lot as a professional player, not just the NBA, just period overall.
And last but not least, the Washington Capitals captain, Alex Ovechkin. Ovechkin. I can never say his name. Ovechkin. I call him Alex O all the time. But, man, he became the first player in the NHL history to score at least 45 goals. 45 goals in 10-plus years. That's ridiculous.
Congratulations, man. Getting it in, one of the greatest.
Yeah, I know we don't talk about NHL that much, but we still keep up with it.
And we definitely know something about it.
That's crazy, though. But that's
nuts.
That's nuts. Only player, not Gretzky. And then it's not like hockey is like, how NFL and NBA is inflated because NBA with the rules, they don't let them foul or anything like that.
It hasn't
NFL,
changed much.
You can't touch it. No,
it hasn't
hockey's
changed
still
much.
the same.
Yeah, it hasn't changed much.
Yeah, so
it hasn't changed much.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Hey, what's good? This your boy Nate Burrows from the NFL Network and CBS. One of the illest to do it. Hey, you listening to the 3-Point Conversion Radio. Don't you go anywhere. It's lit. It's lit.
Good morning. I'm Greg Hurd, and this is your sports news break. The Atlanta Hawks lost to the Chicago Bulls in possibly the game of the year, losing 168-161 in quadruple overtime. Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month Trae Young finished with a career-high 49 points, 16 assists, and 8 rebounds in the losing cause. In spring training, the Atlanta Braves beat the Toronto Blue Jays 4-3. Sean Kazmar Jr. went 2 for 2. Georgia Tech's men's basketball is at home against Boston College on Sunday at 6 p.m. Georgia State Panthers men's basketball will host University of Arkansas Little Rock today at 1 p.m. The Panthers are 20-9 this season. So make sure to follow the 3-Point Conversion for all of your major sports news and updates. It's where fans' opinions matter. Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cat Williams, and you are listening to 3-Point Conversion Radio.
Yes. We're back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And this next segment, the hot topic, is brought to you by Cindy Cuts Barbershop, located on 3000 Chapel Hill Road, Suite 206, Douglasville, Georgia. Check them out. You need to be clean. You got a special occasion to go to. You want to just go in the barbershop to get away from the wifey or the fam for a second, to clear your mind, talk sports, debate, whatever, laugh. It's a place to go, man. Great barbers, not an empty chair. Great vibe. Make sure you check them out. Also, make sure you look up Dwayne Chambers. He is the barber all the way down on the left when you come in, the last barber on the left. And you can follow him on Instagram at Simha the Barber. That's SIMHATHEBARBER. Shout out to my man DJ. What up, DJ? All right, so talking Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
Man, Luca, in the beginning of this season and halfway of the season, throughout, Luca had it. It was like you saw it. Nobody could come get him. It's a wrap. And then I think in January, late January, we started to see signs of Trae Young playing well. But you never thought Rookie of the Year, but just him playing well. Then all of a sudden, we start seeing Trae get in a groove, especially in February, like, the month of February and right before All-Star break. I think he got it to where he was averaging like 20 and 9 assists.
Balling.
And then after the All-Star break, it was like he went 28. I was going off the head. 26, then 30, and 36, 36, 49. And meanwhile, he's getting 8 to 10 assists each game. The way he's playing now, who do you think who will win the Rookie of the Year?
I think if Trigger keep up what he's doing, then Trigger. Luca been balling too, so don't get it twisted like he hasn't been putting up numbers, but I think with Trae, it's the flair. It's how high the numbers are. We talking about 49, 36, 36 in his last 3 games. In the last 10 games, he only scored under 23 times, and one of the games were 19. And in those games, he averaged about 28 minutes. So he putting up numbers. Luca numbers are for the season are 21 a game, 7 rebounds a game, and just under 6 assists. Trigger's at 18, 3.5 rebounds and 8 assists.
Yeah.
So if Trae keep doing what he's doing, at the worst we're talking about what, Rookie of the Year. Mm-hmm. And I know we talked about it a little bit. I'm making this same trade if I'm Atlanta 10,000 times over. I know Luka's going to be a great player, but Trae going to also fill up the seats. He's going to be interactive. He's going to, he got that flair. He got that what's going to make, he got that ticket seller. And you're still getting the top 10 pick regardless. So you getting both of those and along with your own top 10 pick, right. Yeah, I'm definitely making that trade 10 times over.
Right. Yeah, I want G's assessment analysis also, but I think, Luka has it right now. I still say Luka, but like you stated, if Trae continues to play, I think it would be at least co-Rookie of the Year.
Well, something to talk about,
Yeah, but I'm saying I think he would at least get co-Rookie of the Year because.
But the thing about the right, is that they don't. We always say that. We say that a lot, right? But that hasn't happened.
No, it only happened 3 times in the league. Right. But this is why I said though. You think about it. The last time, I thought it should have been last year.
It should have been last year, but that's what I'm saying.
But the reason why it wasn't was because when you had somebody almost averaging a triple-double, it was hard. But with this, honestly, the numbers are almost similar as far as, okay, Luca has more rebounds, of course, but you're supposed to, of his height, and he has 5 assists. But, Trae is I think he's number 6 in assists in the league, 6 or 5 in the league. And then, like we stated, with him going on this scoring rant, if he continues, he's shooting a great percentage as well. It's not like he's just jacking up threes and he doing a Harden where he 6 for 15 from 3-point land and 8 for 28 from the field. No, he's shooting over 50%. G, what you think, G?
From what I've seen, the thing that's kind of weird is that a lot of people look at these rookies as finished products in their first year in the league, and that's not how it's supposed to be. They may struggle. It may be some stops and starts when the season starts, but you see them get more comfortable, and you start to see what they can really do. And I think that's the thing with Trae Young. People thought that, he's scoring, every time he scores in single digits, we should have, we shouldn't have made that trade. And then Luca starts to ascend where he may have almost made the All-Star team. And you kind of forget about what Trae's actually accomplished
right
over the course of the season. And now that we've seen, a lot of people maybe just saw these last 3 games and think that there is a that the race is closer than it should be. But for those of us who have watched him the entire season, know that, he's more, but it's still not. It's not as if he hasn't had the ability to do this all along.
Right. And then with the assists, like I always say, his best attribute is passing the ball. And I think if you don't watch the Atlanta Hawks, you see 8 assists, even the 10 assist games. But when I tell you it should be 3 or 4 more assists added to that, and we all know it's everybody, but 5 assists. And I'm not talking because he drove and he saw somebody with a 3-point, or he passed and somebody was at the 3-point line and shot it and missed it. No, I'm talking about he's able to see the play develop before it develops. Like, that's Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, them type players. And being there to watch it, you see him like...
And part of it is with a lot of people got hung up on player comparisons.
Right.
So I'm in Oklahoma, and what were people saying? Steph Curry, and really nobody else. But he is a true. I think he is more of a true point guard. Yes. Who can distribute for others, and he has the shooting range. Right. But that's not all he is. That's not all he is.
And I don't want to compare him, but it just makes you wonder if players like Nash, Steve Nash, what's my man came from Cleveland, Mark Price, those type players, if they played in the league today, would it be like Trae Young, who was Stockton, who was pass first guy who could pass, but they have the ability to score also?
Well, the game that kind of like pushes it that way to where the point guard has to be more of a scorer.
Right.
In the days of like Mark Price or Stockton, they could distribute to others. Even though Stockton could shoot, Price could shoot, but that wasn't their primary role.
Right. But that's why I say I want him today.
I think he got more flair than them. You know what I mean? Like with the.
But I'm saying, if he played today, that's my point. If they played today, because it wasn't about flair back then.
But it was some that still had flair. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying, but it wasn't.
Because there's still not a lot of NBA players now that play with flair. And what I mean, like, yeah, they may do some things, right? Like, of course, we got Kyrie with his handles. But I mean, with the Trae, where he always going, faking behind his back and always doing this,
But who started that? Right. And my point is, you saw that in the 2000s when players started doing that more in games. Back in the 90s, they didn't do that as much. It wasn't, you had a few, but it was looked upon as, why are you doing that? What's the point? You know what I'm saying? But now it's accepted. I just wonder if Steve Nash, Mark Price, those type players will play like that. But I want to move to Luca. Mm-hmm. Through all this, Luca has stayed steady. Like both of these players won Rookies of the Month.
Right.
And they, respective conferences. Right. But it's like Luca last month, he averaged 24, I think like 8 assists and like 7 rebounds.
He just balling. That's it. I'm just going to come up every day. Just ball out.
and that's
stay consistent. You don't want to. I mean, they both got veterans in their locker rooms and things like that. Right. But you can speak to Luca being already a professional as opposed to Trae not being a professional. Him having to come learn the professional game. Luca been a professional since he was 14 years old.
Right.
15 years old. So it played at the highest league in the Euro League and was like the most outstanding player, if I'm not mistaken, right before the draft. So it's not as if he hasn't been here, which that's no knock on him. That's great. Do your thing. But Trae's learning, and as he's learning, you see what's happening as he's learning.
So right now, do we say Luca? We all agree Luca has it?
Yeah, I still give it to Luca for right now. You can't be mad at him. But if Trigger keep it up, I say co-rookie because you can't take away what Luca is going to continue to do.
Do you think he can pass him up, though?
So NBA is a what have you done for me lately league, right? Right. So if Trae continues to average 36, 49, 30,
that's asking a lot.
It is.
But you know what? But let me say
how many
this,
games
though.
is left? 20 or something? About
like 17,
18. But look, let me say this, though.
19 games left. He's played 63. That doesn't mean he played
Do we
all
remember when – so in Allen Iverson's first rookie year, he was doing well. He was averaging like 20, 21. I don't know this, something like that. He was playing well. He was shooting.
Balling out.
He was balling, but he was a rookie. You could tell he was shooting a lot and going 6 for 19 and all of that.
Yeah.
But do you remember like the last month of the season? Remember when Iverson took off?
Went on a tear.
And then the last week, he hit like 40
three
times in a row.
He took the NBA. Well, he won it Rookie of the Year when he crossed over Michael Jordan.
Right.
As soon as he crossed him over, they was like, "Hey, go ahead, get him."
Right. But does this remind you of what he was going through? When Iverson went on that tear.
Yeah.
And that month, because like he got it, something clicked.
It clicked. Yeah, it started happening.
It seems like with Trae, it's slowing down. It clicked. Like, I don't know what it is.
And that's probably what usually happens, especially to a point guard.
Yeah.
Later in the season, it starts, I get the game slowing down. Like, I'm seeing this play before I get there. I'm seeing everything before it gets there.
Yeah, because I think now he's starting to see that. I think he notices his spots. And that's one thing I used to always talk about in the beginning of the season. I said he has to learn his spots and where he can score at. I think he gets it. Like Paul Pierce, elbow. Dwayne Wade, Wade knew 15, 20 feet. It was the money with a jump shot, But it's like Trae now is starting to learn, okay, if I get to this spot, I know I can score. And he's starting to drive more, which I like. So we'll see, man. This is about to get interesting.
Definitely.
2 years in a row we had it where it was close, where we didn't know who was going to get it. At one point it was definitely Ben Simmons, but Donovan Mitchell went off, remember? And
went crazy.
And it was like
his team went to the playoffs.
Yeah. I still think he should have got it.
I think it should have been Cole.
Or Cole. But this year, what will happen now? Should he get it or what?
If Trigger keep up what he's doing, he's going to take it from him.
Yeah, I think he can pass him up. I mean, it is a lot to ask for, but the way that the team is like leaned on him.
Right.
And even though he scored a lot of points, he's still getting a lot of assists, too.
And he's young. Keep him out there 30 minutes. He's young. Keep him out there 33 minutes a game.
That's what Coach said last night.
56 last night.
Keep him out there.
But that's the thing, though. It's like in the beginning of the season, they weren't leaning on Trae.
Right.
Remember, everybody was playing 30 minutes a game and Coach said it's just whoever's hot. We're not leaning on the kid, nothing like that.
Man, lean on him.
But Luca... Oh, this is Luca's team. Luca showed, proved
they won. Y'all got me.
Then they did it.
Good.
But now it's like you see the team is leaning on Trae.
That's part of good coaching on Pierce. At first, let him get comfortable with the situation, and then once he gets comfortable with the situation, we're gonna put more on him and let him do him.
Right. All right. So that's gonna wrap up the hot topic. Great topic. Can't wait to see what happens. We're gonna take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Hey, I'm Diana Taurasi from the Phoenix Mercury, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion Radio.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
Hey, I'm Stephon Gilmore for the New England Patriots. You listen to the 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Appreciate the Super Bowl champ who should have got MVP. Got robbed. Who got MVP again? Edelman. Oh, he balled out. Edelman balled out, but Stephon played a major role.
I said he should have got MVP because Edelman didn't even score, did he?
I said Gilbert should have got MVP.
Yeah, I mean Edelman balled out though.
Yeah, he did definitely, but
I thought
Gilmore said
we're stuck on 3 points until the fourth quarter.
Right, and if
how
not
valuable
for that,
was it?
If not for that play, man, we talking about a whole nother game.
Right,
McVay might not be talking about how it was his fault and he didn't come up with a plan B.
Right.
Hey, you don't just get to the Super Bowl again, though. You know, I know he's taking blame, and you don't just get to the Super Bowl again. It just don't happen like that. Right. Everybody not the Patriots.
So look, somebody who wants to get to the Super Bowl every year like the Patriots is Mr. Kyler Murray. Now, you know, the NFL Combine is going on right now, and Murray, you know, he came in and everybody's talking about him. We know he said, you know, F baseball.
F it.
F it, which I'm tripping off of. But anyway, he said forget baseball, and he's dedicating his whole career to the NFL. How you feel about that? I don't. I think he's tripping, but I get it. I mean, he's hot, but it's like, come on, man. Like, bro,
I think it's one of the things where he started thinking about it. You know, baseball can be a 4-year journey before he even starts making any type of money, right? That's one of the first. Don't say I'm. But only way he can say that is the only way he can get drafted in football is if he say he's done with baseball. Because if you say I'm not sure, nobody's going to draft you as a number one.
That's true.
No first round draft pick.
True. That's true. Yeah, that's true. So he went and he got measured. You know, he measured at 5'10", 210, 207, 210. Was it 210 or 207?
9 3/4 hands or something.
First
like
of
that.
all, they measure you with your shoes on. So, because when I saw it, I'm like, stop it. Because we all know, me and the intellectual know personally, this joker walked up behind me.
Walked right past us as we
were interviewing Rashad Higgins.
He definitely was way shorter than Rashad Higgins.
Yeah, he's my height.
He's like,
I'm not 5'10".
What kind of cleats is he wearing then?
Right. He had on some.
He on the 3-inch.
Yeah, right.
But in no way he's 5'10", dog. Like, he's not 5'10". But either or.
With his hair. He 5'10" with his hair.
Well, I think it's embellished a little bit just to make it seem
let's stop talking about this.
Yeah, because like a lot of news was made of
him being 5'7" to 5'9", and they were like, if you're 5'7" to 5'9", you're probably not gonna. Let's make him 5'10", no question.
Like teams are scared off by. Well, one, if the height starts with 5.
Period.
But if it's a single digit after that 5,
it's going to be a whole nother issue.
Like
he would have went back to baseball because he would have been the 3rd round pick. The only one that that got drafted that was under 5'10" or so. There's a couple, but one is Russell Wilson, but none in the 1st round. If I'm not mistaken.
Wilson was a 3rd round pick. Manziel is listed at 6 feet.
Right.
But he's probably like 5'9", 5'10", but
Doug
he's a first round pick.
Right. He wasn't a first round draft pick.
Flutie wasn't a first round pick.
Yeah. So,
he would be the first.
And Baker is like, he's listed at 6 feet.
Right.
But he's listed at 6 feet.
Yeah, he might be 5'10".
Where is listed.
Right, listed. So now he didn't participate. He just did that, and he's not going to participate in the draft. I mean, in the combine.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, should he play in the combine? Like, I mean, should he participate? Like, if you go to combine, it shouldn't. I don't think it should be. All right, I'm gonna run this 40, but I'm not throwing. Nah, bro. If you hear it, you participating.
I don't think he should participate. I think only thing he can do is hurt his stock if he.
No, true, and it's smart that he's not. But don't if it's not required to get listed.
No, I think he wanted that part to be out the way.
But still, I think it should be. They should make it. If you come to the combine, you participate. No, you can't no.
That's how I would look at it. Like if you come to the combine, you got to do everything unless you hurt.
Right.
You
got to do everything.
What I'm saying is, he hasn't participated in any drills. I will say that if compared to drills, but as far as measurements, I wouldn't agree with that.
Nah, if you come to the combine, because he could do that at the
I mean, otherwise,
but
like,
they wouldn't.
What are you here
would they
for?
categorize it? Would they say it's the same thing?
Yeah, he could just because everybody's there.
Because like some quarterbacks are there and they're going to throw hoping that it will help. But in a pro day setting, like I'm always skeptical of the pro day setting because it's all scripted. You're familiar with all the receivers. You know what plays are going to run. It's all.
But that's what I'm saying about the measurements counter. That's why pro, like you're saying, pro day is usually at their college, right? It's always, like you said, kind of scripted. And I think that's why he coming there for the measurement.
But
I don't.
He's not the first one to.
Yeah, not the first one to do it. But I'm just saying, it's just it's getting redundant to me. If you're there,
I feel like if
you should participate in everything, like everybody else.
You're gonna run.
I know you're the Heisman, right? I know you're the Heisman, but you're still trying to get into the NFL. You with everybody else. Right now, right now you back to being a nobody. So you need to participate with everyone else.
I mean, some team must have told him, like, if he's met with the Cardinals, he's probably met with a couple other teams. He's being told, like, hey, if you're at this position somewhere in the top 10 or whatever, we're going to pick you.
Well,
so he's not
I'm glad you said that because, the Kingsbury, right? Kingsbury came up. Yeah, it was Kingsbury. He said before, like a month ago or 2 months ago, whatever. Remember, he was saying that
Rosen's our quarterback.
No, he was saying that he would take Murray before he got drafted. Before he got the head coach.
He was still the coach.
Yeah, he said he would take
right.
him at number one before anybody if he was the coach and he had to. Then this week he came out and said Rosen is still our quarterback
for now.
Now, Kyler Murray is meeting with Arizona this weekend.
Right. So it's a number of things with that, right? First, you see the way Kingsbury came up real quick? Mm-hmm. He can go down real quick. We know Arizona will get rid of you after one season, right?
We've seen it.
We know that,
just
right?
Saw it happen.
Right.
But it depends on
right. So with that being said, though, this is my point.
It depends on if
this is my point in it. Is okay. So you draft him because he's good for his system, right? What if he's not here next year? And then Kyler Murray doesn't fit in the system that the next person goes into. Not saying don't draft him, but if you're drafting him just for the system and he doesn't get in the next system, like
well then that's on them to like figure out what to do with him as far as if they're going to trade him, because I'm sure like if you go back to like I think it was Saquon Barkley and Baker Mayfield, their rookie contracts are fully guaranteed.
Right.
So Kyler Murray's agent is probably going to aim
fully
for that
guaranteed,
as well.
absolutely.
A fully guaranteed contract. So after year one, whether it works out or not,
they stuck with him.
Right.
They're stuck with him. Yes.
Rosen, how much is his guaranteed? And what are you going to get for him now? Because now we know you don't want him. So I'm not giving you a first. Like what are you getting?
It's some teams that take him.
I would be calling the Giants if they haven't.
Yeah,
called,
it's some teams that take him.
Or the Jaguars.
So
if the Giants trade him, what are they getting? If the Giants trade for him, what are they getting? Because they can wait now and just get Dwayne Haskins and not trade their first round draft pick for him.
But if they don't get Dwayne Haskins and somebody else gets him, then
that's highly unlikely.
Think about it though. Now you can have if they're not asking for a first round, which I'm probably sure Arizona is, but at this point, if they're getting Kyler Murray, they're probably willing to take a second round.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And you're not going to give them a first rounder because you know that they want to get rid of him.
If that's the case, then if I was the Giants, I would do something like that because now you can go get somebody else that you want in the first round. That if you were deciding like, should we get Haskins or whoever, or get this lineman, or get this wide receiver or whatever it is, now you can get best of both. Now you can get that lineman, but also get a first round quarterback and somebody that you.
But they also got to go. They also got to go to your belief in Rosen over Haskins.
I mean, true, but if you can get 2 for 1, I would probably go for Rosen. I know there's that can throw that's probably.
You sure?
Yeah, I would. I mean, why not? Because you're getting 2 first-round picks with the 1 first-round pick.
I understand what you said. I'm being devil's advocate. Like, what do you know that Rosen's going to be? He was there in Arizona last year. I know he didn't have a line.
I mean, you don't know because he showed signs, and then who was he throwing to? You know what I'm saying?
You say who?
Yeah, he has receivers and weapons. No, he has weapons. I'm just saying, Larry Fitzgerald is in his 25th year. He's not going to be playing. He's not.
He'll still catch everything.
Yeah. Everything he throw in his area. It couldn't get in his area.
He running like 3 and 4 yard
outs. My point.
But
yeah.
he'll catch it.
But you got Odell. You got all them other weapons in New York. Why wouldn't you? But I'm saying though that I just think I hear what you're saying in the long run. I think it's a risk in a sense because. But at the same time, you don't know what you have in Rosen, so why not?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying, but if you're Arizona, if you feel like he's not, why go get this guy that's perfect for your system? Because Rosen might not be perfect.
The thing that makes it like kind of more low risk for the Giants is Eli's going to be the starter anyway,
regardless of who it is, right?
Whether they trade for Rosen or draft Haskins, Eli's still going to be the starter
for that last year.
So,
which might be great for Rosen because now he sits under a veteran instead of sitting under.
So it works for him. So it's really up to the Giants to make the. It's up to the Giants to make that trade.
If I was the Giants, I would do that, unless Dwayne Haskins is definitely your guy. If Dwayne Haskins or any other quarterback that's coming out, if they're not your guy.
They said the biggest knock on Haskins is his mobility. Does Rosen has better mobility than him?
Yep.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't even think Haskins is going to be asked to run.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean,
he doesn't. But I don't think he's not going to be asked to do that.
He doesn't.
Eli couldn't either. So I mean,
he doesn't.
And he's got Saquon behind him. Have him do that.
Well, ask Stephen A. He thinks so. But look, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back to talk some more NBA basketball. We'll be right back.
I'm Maurice Jones-Drew of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL Network, and you're listening to The 3-Point Conversion. The 3-Point Conversion. The 3-Point Conversion. The 3-Point
Conversion. Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta surgery centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta. Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.
What's going on, guys? It's John Collins from the Atlanta Hawks. You're listening to the 3-Point Conversion Radio.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Getting back to the NBA. The Celtics won last night. And we all know winning can solve problems. But do you believe that winning solve problems. Like this win here. Do you believe that it solved problems?
I think that the Celtics, I think based on last year, they're kind of a veteran team, and because they were there last year, once they get there, they'll be okay. However, some of these losses that they are taking are some bad losses, you know, and I know I don't want to say they can just flip the switch because they do still have young players in Tatum and Brown and things like that, but I think that they're gonna be okay. However, the East not easy. Toronto and Milwaukee balling, so they can't come out there thinking that they need to end the season on a good note. You know what I mean? Them 3 losses that they had in a row, you can't do that, especially in this year's Eastern Conference race.
You're being nice. I'm talking about the drama, man. We talking about the drama. What's going on with the Celtics, bro? You see all this bickering and everything. I wonder if it will help them, because the way they were losing, they lost to Toronto. That was a good team, but they got blew out. But they were losing. You can tell it's something going on.
I think it's the Kyrie thing, man.
I don't even think it's Kyrie. Go ahead. I'm going to let you speak on that.
I think it has something. And I'm not talking about him not being there or him not committing. I think it has something to do with him kind of maybe he tried to call him out kind of thing, and then called him back to LeBron and saying he thought he was ready, and all of that. And then every time someone talks to Kyrie, it becomes a bigger issue because of the way he responds. I think that's kind of creeping into the locker room.
But the funny thing, I'm going to give y'all a little insight on the Boston Celtics. That's how all of them answered. All of them. Tatum, you ask him a question in the locker room. I'm talking about not how did you all think you did. I'm talking about you ask him a question, you all are looking to get better. What has been the major difference in the team chemistry? Good question. We're making shots.
See, I'm not talking about that. I'm actually talking about the off the court type of the way.
No, that's
Kyrie.
how they.
I'm talking about like when he was talking about when they were asking him about the Durant thing, and he's.
But I'm saying that's how they. I don't know if that's a code. That's how they do. But I personally think it's Tatum. I'm gonna tell you why I think it's Tatum. Tatum. It has a little bit to do with Kyrie also, but I think with Tatum wants to.
Tatum is a star.
But he wants to be the man,
and
right?
He's a star.
But still, you don't come out as a rookie and say, yeah, I would love to go to New Orleans and I want to be.
He said, who wouldn't want to be the face of the franchise?
But you don't say that. And now remember, they're not mad at Kyrie because they know who Kyrie is. They know why they picked up Kyrie. Everybody know Kyrie's a leader. But you got people like Jaylen Brown, who Tatum kind of took his spot. You got Rozier.
Hayward took Hayward's spot.
You got a lot of people that feels like, no, I'm good. Also, and I think everything with Kyrie, with the Tatum, and all of that, I think that has a lot to do with it. But do you think it's coming? Do you think it will get back to being Boston Celtics basketball, and they will once again be that team who we thought they would be?
I mean, if they were able to trade Kyrie or Gordon Hayward before the trade deadline, maybe. I think because this still goes back to last year's playoffs, where they didn't have Kyrie, they didn't have Hayward, and we saw Tatum step up, we saw Brown step up, we saw Rozier step up, to where these are legit trade assets, but what's hurt them, a lot of people want to say the coach or Kyrie, it's Danny Ainge, because Danny Ainge, with the moves he's made, he's not making a move to where, okay, I'm going to get this guy and I have these assets and it may look like an even trade. Right. No, he is looking to fleece someone. Look at that Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett trade when he traded them to Brooklyn. And got all of Brooklyn's picks for like a 10-year period. Or when he's
still winning off of those picks.
Or trading for Kyrie.
Right.
What does Cleveland have left from that trade?
Boston actually has someone's top pick this year that's protected through the first 3 picks or 5 picks or something.
It's either Cleveland's or it's Philly's for trading the number one pick. So he's looking to trick someone into taking something of less value. He's trying to make something look more valuable than what it is.
And that's why I don't think that New Orleans is going to get a better package than they would have gotten from the Lakers. Look at what Ingram.
The Lakers were giving them everybody on the
roster.
roster.
Look what Ingram and Kuzma are going to be. Ingram kind of showed you a little bit last night. He's actually averaging about 18 a game this year. That's pretty good.
But they're smart because I think New Orleans doing it because look, he still has one more year left. We're not about to trade him, and because we still might be able to convince him, or we might even get a better trade.
Convince who?
AD.
Are you crazy?
I mean,
you're not convincing. But that's why that thought thinking right there is what cost Dale Dempsey's job.
No. But listen, think about it. Why would you trade him when he has one more year left?
Why would you trade him? Because now, remember I told you trade him before the deadline? Remember we had an argument about
But they can trade him next year.
Listen, we had an argument about that. Now you know what you're doing? You're playing him 20 minutes a game, 25 minutes a game. You know what I would almost do what if AD had said, you know what, because I want to be traded, I'm going to play 20 minutes a game. Then it would have been a problem, right? It would have been a problem because now he's being mad, right? Because the word is that he told Dale Dempsey behind the scenes that he wasn't going to sign an extension and trade him. They didn't do it because they're going to say AD is going to be okay, let him be around his players, and then he saw how AD wasn't making a big deal out of it. He thought it was going to be okay. No, now you got to go public so he comes out as a problem, right? You should have got rid of him because now you're playing him. What if AD say, you know what, I'm going to step back. I don't want to play the rest of the season so that I don't get.
That's what New Orleans would want, though.
See, right.
But no.
Right. But if he did, it would be a problem, right?
No. That's what they want. That's what he's saying.
They want him to say that, I'm not.
Right. But I'm saying if he had said he's going to play 20 minutes a game, would it have been a problem? He's been a problem player and things like that.
They would have spun it.
That's why you trade him because it's you see what it's in the locker room and there
are other things that they're worried about also. Like they're trying to keep this team might end up moving.
But look. So Dale Dempsey got fired over this situation. Because I think ownership was like he should have gotten rid of him. Look what it's doing to the team.
No. He didn't get fired because of that. Dempsey got fired because of the way he handled it. The way he handled it and put it out, and that's why he got fired. But they want Davis to be like that. But again, he has one more year. This is going to come up next year before the trade deadline. They might even get better offers. They'll probably get the same offer that they would get.
No, they're not.
Why not?
Because now you're thirsty. Now you have no choice. Now you have no choice.
But it doesn't matter with that because the thing is, it's not like the NFL. Like like you were talking about with Rosen, AD's a baller. So we know because he's a baller, we'll take the best trade possible.
Closer to the deadline, the trade is going to be worse because now you got to get rid of him. If you don't, then you're sitting here with him. You're not going to get anything.
But see, teams will lose out because they know other teams will lose out because they know they can't go and get him in the offseason. Like I said, it's not like football.
I'm not getting AD giving up what I would have given up for him for maybe 2 months. If I'm getting him for a year and can convince him like Paul George to stay, that's different. 2 months, it's a whole different ballgame.
I don't know. But let's move on. Another team in the West that is really doing it, that they're doing their thing is the Denver Nuggets. They're number one in the West. The number one seed.
Balling.
We thought they would drop off.
Right.
Do you think they would drop off? Or you think this is what we're about to see?
I think that they can end up with the best record in the West, but I don't think that necessarily means that they're going to go to the Western Conference Finals or necessarily that, right?
But can they?
I don't think so. I don't want to say I don't believe in it, but Jamal Murray is a very young point guard, right? But I think what helps is that they got Paul Millsap, which is a veteran. He kind of evens off the locker room. And they definitely got the Joker. I've talked about him, how I like him. And they always got a bunch of wings, and people have to go to Denver to play. It's always a problem because how the elevation is. So I think that's a problem. But I still think that they're young, and we've kind of seen this in Denver before, right? We've seen them be real good. And then when the playoffs come, they kind of, you know what I mean?
Man, I'm starting to believe. And the reason why is because they're so – I always said if you don't have a superstar, you won't win.
Right.
But they have one.
They do.
Now, in today's league, you need 2 or more. But for some reason, the way everybody plays with each other and they believe in each other, I think that takes a – I mean – that makes up for not having that second superstar. And then you think about it, man. Look who they got on the bench. Then they still got Isaiah Thomas.
And one of their young gunners was hurt for a minute recently.
Right.
Gary Harris was recently out for for a minute. And he's a baller.
Right. And you mentioned about Murray, but Murray don't even run point. The Joker run point.
Right, yeah, good point.
I mean, so it's like Malone has them believing that, yo, we're this good.
And they're not even, they're still not at full strength. Like, isn't Harris still out?
Yeah,
or
that's what I said. He just came back, I think.
So,
he's playing sparingly. Barton had just came back. He's still
Isaiah is working his way in there. So they have the, I guess, kind of the new wave of the NBA.
And they got experience.
And they have guards.
And they have experience, I guess, if you think about Millsap, Isaiah Thomas.
So they have the good mix of young players and veterans. And I think with Mike Malone, he has given them a lot of he's given them confidence. Mm-hmm. And it's like, and look, we have this talent, and he's made it work. Because the talent has been there, but it's just a matter of getting the coaching, and it's something they really hadn't had since George Karl.
They deeper than Golden State because Golden State bench is looking very flabbergasted right now.
Right.
Golden State bench is looking bad.
And I think that right now, I don't think it's a team that's fighting for the ace. Well, I still don't think. I don't think LeBron can beat. If LeBron get the eighth, if they get to play in the playoffs, I don't think they can beat Denver. I don't think that I don't think Portland can beat Denver. And who is the fourth? The only problem is
OKC.
No, it would probably more than likely look like it's going to be Houston. If Houston holds on to that fourth spot.
Don't forget about Portland now. They climbing.
I
was going to say, but I think
it's hard to trust Portland.
Yeah.
It is. Especially after last year.
But
after every year.
With Houston, I don't think that's the problem. I think that might get Denver just because
Houston. I think they got too many wings to throw at James Harden. They have a lot of wings.
But,
I'm not saying stop him. You can't stop him, but he's tired now probably.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be a matter of like, can Houston change it up or add some kind of wrinkle that teams have not seen yet? Because it's still pretty much the Bel Air Academy offense, and if Harden's not Will, then Chris Paul is Will.
Right. And you throwing Harris at him, Barton, you throwing Lyles, like you're throwing a lot of people at him. That might be a good matchup.
Yeah, but like I said, I think I'm starting to believe.
Get you a Nuggets hat then.
They just it's just the way they playing, man. Like I keep saying no.
No, you can't keep going with it.
I can't get so we'll see, man. Look, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna get into this Stop It segment. Keep it locked.
What's happening? It's your man Big T doing big things. Y'all know what it is. ATL Hawks official DJ and Rap City forever. You're checking out the 3-Point Conversion Radio. You dig?
You're tuned into WWE Peakville, AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
Are you tired of avoiding great tasting food because you want to eat healthy? Well, Salad Express will fix that problem for you. Salad Express is a gourmet salad and grill restaurant that gives you multiple options to satisfy your taste buds and keep you healthy. They have over 40 toppings, which are cut fresh daily, 7 homemade soups, and even chili. You can also order hot sandwiches and wraps with choices like grilled chicken, steak, salmon, and shrimp, which can be added to salads too. So go ahead and visit them today at 1055 Mansell Road, Suite 600, Roswell, Georgia, and 1171 La Vista Road Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia. Call their Roswell location at 770-680-5992 or the La Vista Road location at 404-929-8828. And don't forget to let them know the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge sent you.
Tune your radio.
Tune in.
Now, you can tune into this radio station on any smartphone or tablet. iPhone, Android, BlackBerry, Nokia, Samsung, Windows phones, or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store. Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy from over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at tunein.com or your app store.
No mercy. Don't let up on him. Go hard on him, Mr. Controversy. Hit him with the stop it button.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. We'd like to thank everyone who has been listening live, whether it's the radio or watching us via Facebook, iHeartRadio, whatever, however you're listening. We appreciate all of the support, and we ask you to keep it going. But trust me, man, it matters to us. It means a lot to us. And now it is time for the most infamous, the most famous Stop It segment. Let's get it.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Yes. S-T-O-P, new word, I-T. Stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right. We're going to go with you, the intellectual, first. What you got, sir?
So I got something that I actually was going to say last week, but I wasn't here. But it's a little old, but I think it's still worth getting to stop it. So when Nike signed Cap to the, to his little deal, there was a sporting business store that decided to completely stop selling Nike. Mm-hmm. Like he's not going to sell Nike because of the cap. So he's going out of business. He didn't realize apparently how much Nike stuff goes into sporting goods. And now he has to shut down his business. He said he didn't know that people.
Wait, what did he do now?
He stopped selling Nike completely. So now he has to close his doors because he states he didn't realize how many people supported Cap. It's not just supporting Cap, dude. It's Nike.
Stop it.
Wow.
Stop it.
Like he has to go out of business now because, like, dude, do you know what Nike does, dude?
Crazy, man. G.
All right, mine goes to a rapper, Jeffrey Atkins, a.k.a. Ja Rule. His halftime performance at a Milwaukee Bucks game did not go over very well. And he says, and then he ended up tweeting that the Minnesota Timberwolves, made a joke at his expense. And then he cursed them, saying, "You just jinx yourself talking to the God this way. You're cursed now. You won't win a championship for the next 30 years. And Cat is leaving. Apologize and I'll lift the curse. Kiss of death." So he took the Lil B approach.
Wow.
To responding. Look, why are we beefing with the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Off top, that's the beginning. They're not going to win a championship in 30 years.
Right.
When have they won one?
They've never won one.
Right.
So it doesn't make any sense for this beef to even exist.
And who are you?
And coming off the Fire Festival documentaries, you're not. You may not be going to jail like Billy McFarland is, but you are just as much to blame for everything that happened. So he is not to be trusted with beef or your music festival.
Period.
Stop it.
Did you see the Milwaukee Bucks coming out and shooting while he was performing?
Yeah, and I saw Giannis out there warming up during the performance.
During the performance, like while he was performing, he this is
like either it took too long or Giannis has no idea who he is, and either one is all right with me.
And he probably doesn't know who he is because Giannis is still young and he was in Greece.
All right, so my stop it, I have two. First of all, we talked about Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray came out and, everybody was talking about his height and everything. He came out and said he didn't see what the big deal was about his weight and height.
Stop it.
Really? Come on, man. And then This next topic, we should have done this a long time ago, but it's still relevant, so we're going to do it this week. So the NBA, they gave Dirk a spot in the All-Star game, and teams giving him, like standing ovations, and they're saying that he's been great and giving him tributes. Meanwhile, Dirk has never said he was retiring. And as a matter of fact, Dirk said that last night, he said he didn't know if he was going to retire or not. He said he's still mulling over should he retire or not.
Stop it. Adam Silver like, dude, man, go on, man. Go and sit down somewhere.
This dude has not came out. He hadn't said anything about retiring at all.
I heard him say earlier in the year that, I'm playing next year.
Yeah, he did, right. He never said. Adam Silver coming back. Adam Silver like, man, go on, dude. Go sit down somewhere, man. Go.
Or maybe it was like, well, let me get him in here now before he might change his mind.
Right.
Wow. But anyway, look, we're gonna take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Let me break down to y'all what's so dope about the three-point conversion. First of all, everybody is a fan of the game first. Second of all, everybody is a student of the game second. And third of all, we're the average sports fan just like everybody else. We're not coming in here, walking with our nose tipped high, acting snooty, acting brand new. This is a grassroots organization. Bar none. The three-point conversion, where fans' opinions matter. Be sure to visit the website www.the3pointconversion.com. Get your fix, get your articles, multimedia, and everything else that you, as a sports fan, need. So again, the3pointconversion.com. It's where it's at, man, where fans' opinions matter.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Whether it's quick hits, what's on my mind, the infamous Stop It segment, you got to be there every Saturday morning on the 3-Point Conversion station for the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge hosted by Mr. Controversy. Get him!
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. We're not talking football right now, so we must have Deshaun Tate.
Can't be talking about football.
What up, Deshaun Tate?
Bro, let me explain something to you, bro. See, as soon as I start thinking that we ain't talking no more football, here they come with the Atlanta United and all this. They try and trick me, bro. They think they slick. They said they're going to take out the football, but technically still added more football.
Still football. It's still football.
It is what it is, man. Guess what? Hey, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful morning, not a cloud in the sky. Downtown Atlanta, man. Second day of March. It really doesn't get much better, man. The sun is shining, folks riding down the street with their drop tops. Everybody want to go and check out, see what the biggest games of the day is. Check out some college hoops. Everybody's pumped up about it, man. Like there's no arguments right now.
No, it's not, man.
Unless you're Trae Young, there's an argument right now.
Right.
There's an argument right now about this whole Rookie of the Year thing. Sorry, I just had to kind of throw that in there.
Nah, yeah, because we definitely got on there earlier. But I have an argument for you, or a debate, I guess, is going on. So Virginia only 2 losses are to Duke, and we know Zion, with that situation and everything, but still, with them being, I think Virginia is now ranked number 2 in the AP poll. Do you feel like they are strong enough to win it all, or let alone the ACC tournament?
Well, the ACC tournament, I definitely think. I think they won the ACC tournament, if I'm not mistaken, 2 of the last 4 years.
Right.
2 of the last 5 or somewhere right along that, around that range. But they'll likely beat. I mean, I picked them for the front runner to win the ACC again this year in the ACC tournament. And, at the end of the day, what it comes down to and what it's about is being able to put something together and be a strong team, when it's win or go home time. And they haven't necessarily done that. They understand that. I'm sure there's a lot of people that's not really trusting them just because of the whole, not only them not being, successful to win games during that time of the year, but also when you're the team that's fresh off of making history and being a 1 seed, losing to a 16, it doesn't look good for you. So I don't know how much pressure they really feel like is on them. I think they do have a chip on their shoulder. They feel like they got something to prove. Do I think that they could cut down the nets? I think they can do it. I think they're more realistically a Final Four team than they are a national title contender. But certainly, in the next couple, I was saying next couple weeks, guys, and realistically now we're at this point where it's like the next couple days, you're going to start hearing about there's 12 to 15. Everybody's going to say, oh, there's 12 to 15 teams that can win this thing. There's no way that there's that many teams that can win this thing. There's realistically about a good handful, if that's still around. And I'm not even sure I want to add Duke to that list if Zion's not back. But I will say enough to say that that Virginia is certainly a part of that conversation of that handful of teams. But I got them as a lock for the only team I have right now as a lock for my Final Four for sure.
Now, Deshaun, we know you're one of the biggest Spartan fans, and they moved up.
Oh, no doubt.
And they moved up 4 spots in the polls. What you think? What do you think the key has been late in the season?
Really, just I think that Tom Izzo has kind of found a balance within his team and trusting his team, I guess, differently. You get so used to seeing Tom Izzo, and he's worked up on the sidelines, and he's, pounding the table, and he's working the reps and cussing folks out left and right, and he's in the huddle, and he's gritty and grimy, and, he's pulling guys up by their uniforms and this and that. And, and then I think he kind of got away from that for a little while, especially with everything that happened last year after the Larry Nassar stuff. A lot of stuff started coming out, and it was like, dude couldn't sleep. Dude's looking stressed. I mean, you look at Tom Izzo right now, it almost looked like he almost looks like he put on 10 years of life after this whole situation last year sometimes, and his demeanor has become different. I know Mateen Cleaves, who led him to a national championship back in 2000, had some conversations with him and said, you got to get back to Michigan State basketball and the way that you used to coach these guys. Continue to be fiery. You softened up on these guys a little bit. And so now you kind of see that, but you see it in balance. He knows that he doesn't have the mentally tough guys the same type of way they used to with this group, but that still he can implement, the rebounding because they're one of the best rebounding teams in the country every year. Mix that up with scoring, playing hard-nosed defense. And when you're winning games like the way that they're winning without 2 starters in Joshua Langford and Nick Ward, you got a conference player of the year, man, in Cassius Winston that looks like he's doing just about everything.
Can they get to the Final Four?
Get there. I think they can. I think a lot of that depends. They're not going to have Langford coming back. They'll have Ward likely to come back, but they're definitely not going to have Langford. It really just kind of depends on how much they're driving Cassius Winston into the ground at that point, and the role players that surround him, how much they can come in and give some, some valuable minutes and give guys a breather and different things like that because they do go deep. You start thinking about this thing, man. The last time we had a team, which was Gary Harris and Adrian Payne, that went to the lottery, you lose 2 lottery players and go to the Final Four the very next year in 2015. Well, look at it right here where you have 2 guys that just went to the lottery from last year's team in Jaren Jackson Jr. and Miles Bridges, and then you turn around and you're looking at this team like, man, this team could really do something special. So can they? I guess it's kind of this selection Sunday, the 17th of March, is going to tell us a lot as soon as those brackets break open. I think the most realistic thing for Michigan State right now is that Sweet 16 is the most likely right now. but Elite Eight could potentially be that ceiling.
All right, so besides John Morant, and the Duke boys, has anyone else emerged as like that guy to pick up within the last few weeks?
No, it just hasn't. It's just realistically, like it just hasn't. It's just pretty much been steady the whole way through. Zion at the top. I feel like it's Zion and then everybody else. Let me be honest with you. I think that we've been seeing more and more people realize that Zion is the clear-cut number one. So we used to talk about, is it RJ or Zion? I think we've kind of done away with that already, especially considering the fact that Duke has lost 2 of the last 3 without Zion. We kind of know. But, that's not to crap on, RJ. He's obviously a good talent. But then you have RJ there and Cam Reddish, who I think is my personal thought on who I think the Hawks will probably take, and that's just a me thing. That's me not knowing any insider. That's just me. But when you're looking at guys like Romeo Langford, who's a good talent, but Indiana stinks. Let's just keep it real about what it is. And Jarrett Culver is really good. I challenge some people to watch him, who I personally think is the more ideal, a little bit more than Cam Reddish. I think that Jarrett Culver from Texas Tech is a little bit more ideal of a pick for the Hawks, but he has obviously put some weight on. As pretty much every guy that's 17, 18, 19 years old as a freshman. So, there's a couple guys that are out there. Actually, right up your way, Mr. Controversial. His name is Ayo Dosunmu. Yeah. I know that sounds kind of weird, but you go check out this guy from Illinois. He's serious, man. He's a freshman. Yeah. He obviously is a really good talent, can score the ball. They're one of the best defensive teams in the country, so you don't have to beg and plead for a guy to play defense on that end. That's just a couple guys, but I think that there's going to be more guys probably late first round and going into the second round that there is, it won't be nearly as much of a top-heavy draft. Unfortunately, this draft is, I'll be honest with the folks here and with you guys, I can't lie, I can't be biased. This draft is going to stink after pick number 1.
Wow. I know you've said it before, but
in comparison to the ones that we've had, right. I'll say that.
Especially
last year's draft, obviously, and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, because after that first 4 or 5, it get real.
Yeah, it gets stinky. It gets stinky.
It is. But there you have it, my man Deshaun Tate. You can follow him at Tate's Take Sports on social media. And when I tell you this guy gives out great analysis, hands down in Georgia, he's the best college basketball analyst, period. Like, everybody's calling him. Everybody wants him. So I'm just saying. So check out my boy. Follow him. I appreciate it, Sean, man. We always welcome you back, man.
Appreciate you, my brother, man. Appreciate all the nice things you guys say about me, man. The check is in the mail, my brother. Don't cash it yet, because, what I'm saying, I got to go to the bank. It ain't all in there yet. But, what I'm saying, just appreciate everything you do, man. It's in the mail. It's on the way, big dog. Appreciate y'all, man. Don't forget, at Tate's Take Sports, man. TATESTAKE Sports. And got a super dope, super bomb website that's launching out for the month of March, man. This stuff's going to be awesome. That's at TatesTakeSports.com. Appreciate you, bro.
Cool. Definitely. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? It's Mike Patton, a.k.a. The General. And on my Saturday mornings, I got my feet kicked up, chilling, listening to my boys, The Intellectual and Mr. Controversy, ripping in the lounge.
Hey folks, Handsome Josh is here to reveal some big news to all the AM 1100 listeners.
I have an app.
That's right, you can now check out all your favorite programs right here on The Real with the Real 1100 app. Whether it's sports, entertainment, or lifestyle, the Real 1100 definitely has you covered.
So why don't you just tell me how much it's going to cost me?
And here's the best part. It's available in your Google Play or Apple App Store, and it's free to download.
Actually, you can count me in on this one.
So download the Real 1100 app today and stay in tune with The Real.
Hey, what's going on? It's your man Terrell Thomas. We out here right now. Big up, shout out to the 3-point conversion.
All right, we are back inside the 3-point conversion sports lounge. It is getting closer. The baseball season is approaching. Spring training. We were joking earlier. You know, if you're not into baseball, you can get fooled because you're looking, say if you go to look at the box scores, you know, you're like, you see the Braves played the Blue Jays. You're like, okay, they beat them 4-3. Then you look down at other scores for that same day, and Braves playing the Milwaukee Brewers, they lost 10-8. You're like, huh?
How they play 2 times? How they make it to 2 different cities?
Right.
First off, they're in neither city.
Right,
they're probably
right.
in Florida
Exactly.
or something like that.
Or you might see the Braves played Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and it's half of the team, right? So it's like people that may be trying to make the team along with 2 stars,
right?
And then the whole other stars was with another team that's in Florida. It get real crazy. I don't even watch spring training, and the starting pitchers pitch like an inning and a third.
Yeah, it's
See,
crazy.
that's where Craig Counsell got his idea.
Yep, there you go, right there. There you go.
There you go.
Inning and a third.
So we saw finally Bryce Harper get this ridiculous deal.
Finally.
I just remember maybe 5-6 years ago, I remember we talked about after A-Rod got his, then we were mentioning, I think it came up, one point it came up with Pujols at one time, like could he ever get 300, mil? Then
Giancarlo.
What?
Wasn't it?
But I don't think they
was
was
his number. I can't remember his number.
325.
It was like 13 years or something on it. How long was it?
No, it was like 10.
For $325 million, right?
Yeah.
And then
the Marlins traded him after 1 year
into
the contract.
Right. So then
that was crazy.
Now you see everybody getting these crazy deals. And the crazy thing is the 330 is the highest ever as far as the mark. A lot of people want to say, what's the guy from Colorado? Who was that? Arenado. He's like 8 years for like 260 something.
260.
Yeah.
So he's getting like how much he's getting a year, G? What is that like? I'm sorry.
It's at least 30.
30 something.
Yeah.
So everybody's saying like, well, he got the better deal. Not really.
Giancarlo's 13 for 325.
Oh, it was a 13-year contract.
Yeah.
Okay.
325. Okay, but not. I mean,
I think Nolan Arenado got a better deal.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That's
I think he got a better deal.
That's the 8-year 260, right?
Let me see. Let me double check. I think it is 8 years.
Yeah.
260.
So, but he didn't know when you think about it because he did. I guess because you say he can get paid.
He gets more on average.
But baseball is guaranteed,
and not just on. Okay, I mean I get it, but
he could get another contract afterwards.
And I know, so Harper deal is good, right? But it's 330, right? And it's for 13 years. 13 years. That's a long time.
It don't matter.
And I'm not saying I'm not saying it's a bad deal or anything, but so we always knew. I thought it was going to be 10 for 300. I thought that was kind of like the deal, right? 10 for 300.
It couldn't be.
So he added 3 more at just 30. You see what I'm saying?
Well, what's the name messed that up? Well, who? Machado, and then whatchamacallit, they messed that up. So it was like, well, we gotta go.
But just 30 more. Like I would have been thinking, okay, I'm gonna do 13 years. You're gonna have to give me a 360 then. You know what I mean? Like
he wanted. The main thing for him is that he wanted to finish his career somewhere, like wherever he's going to sign, he's going to play there for the rest of his career, and he wanted to have that security. So they're going to be stuck with him, and he's going to be stuck with. So this is something that he wanted. I guess the interesting thing is he didn't include an opt out
at all
clause, so he's going to be there.
Arenado's is for it looks like 2019 through 26 for 260. But get this. 3 years before his deal expires, Miguel Cabrera still would be getting paid. But let's take one step even further. Bobby Bonilla will still be getting paid, after Bryce Harper contract
July
expires.
1st is Bobby Bonilla Day.
Literally. The first to make money off the Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme.
So now Bryce Harper, he's in Philly. We're in Atlanta. What does this do for the Braves? What is this? How does it look for the Braves? Like, the Braves had all of this money, as H.O. told us. Shout out to H.O. He told us last week. And they didn't even buy a pack of Bubblicious.
Right.
They didn't spend anything. And then all of these deals are getting done. Mm-hmm. You have Bryce Harper. You say you didn't want him. Okay. But Phillies get him. Phillies were already looking good last year. Right. With this young squad, all of these good players, good young players. Now you add Bryce to the mix. Does Philly take over? And then, if so, did the Braves set themselves back by not going after one of these? Anybody?
I don't necessarily say that. I say, of course they can get some more hitters or whatever, maybe. But I think that they should worry about pitching more than they should necessarily hitting. Their farm system is good. They brought the right people up. Now, they go and get some pitching or wait till next year to get some pitching, I think that they'll be fine. I think, of course, bringing in Bryce Harper is big, right? But we've seen these teams bring in a big hitter or a big person, and it doesn't really put them over the hump, right? It kind of keeps them where they're at. Like, Atlanta has a good core. They have a good locker room. They have things going. So I think if they bring – because their biggest thing last year was pitching.
Yeah, pitching.
So I think that's what they should be worried about.
But they didn't spend no money on pitching.
But they're still pitching out there.
Right. And they didn't spend any money on pitching. And then Phillies – like I said, Phillies already had a young squad already doing – you're going to get better with adding Bryce Harper because those players didn't leave. These are young players that were hitting.
I know you're saying you're going to get better, but with baseball – it's not a guarantee you're gonna get better. It may add 3 or 4 games. It doesn't necessarily getting Bryce Harper don't mean you're gonna win 10 more games.
But look what the Yankees did.
What?
The Yankees got better when they added John Carlos and
I don't want to say they got better just because of that. Aaron Judge was better.
No,
I mean, you know what I mean? It was a lot. It wasn't just because.
But they had Aaron Judge beforehand.
Carlos.
I'm saying. Yeah. And remember, they made it in the wild card. But then last year, it's like, was it the year before last? Was last year John Carlos' first year?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2018 was his first year.
And they had, now the crazy thing is, the record-wise, I think they had a better record, but Boston was so great.
Right, but like, how many more wins did they have compared to the previous year?
Yeah,
because I think again Bryce Harper's going to make them a better team, but I don't think how many games the Braves beat them by to win that division. Aren't they in there?
They beat them because Philly slipped badly last. They were, it was like a 2.5 something like that. Then they slipped. They lost like 4 games,
right. So
like 18, like 15 out of the last 18, something like that.
Yeah, the Braves won the division by 8 games over the Nationals.
Yeah, they
and 10 over the Phillies.
What happened with the Yankees? Did you?
Let's see, they won 100 last year and 91 the year before.
So 9 games, but
that's a big difference in baseball.
Yeah,
but Boston was so good,
right? And it's also not just because of John Carlos Stanton. I mean, Aaron Judge was a better player.
But that's my point. My point is the players young, like Judge, so they're going to get better.
Yeah,
Philly's players were young. Yeah,
and they got Florida's catcher, didn't they?
So
they got Florida's catcher.
So they added these players, and it's like the Braves didn't make any moves with a pitcher. Like, okay, if you don't go for Bryce, I get that, but shore up your pitching.
It's still some pitchers out there, isn't Dallas? QQ still out there. Keuchel, he's still out there.
Yeah, like I said, they acting like you know how your
what's the free agent list for last year?
Hey, you know how your grandmother sent you to the store, a corner store or something, and you ask, Grandma, can I get me something? No, bring me my change back. That's how the Braves are acting. Like they're being stingy. Get some people. Get some pitchers.
Maybe they wait until next year. I don't know. It's not really a lot of people out there next year, but
they missed out, man. I think they missed out. They went about it the wrong way.
They need some pitching. I think that's what they need to worry about, pitching.
That's it. But spend money. You should have did that.
They're going to go after Baumgartner next year.
Hey, H.O. told us the payroll was $59 million. Was it $59 million, you said? $59 million before spring training, like before it started.
Well, that's how much they had to spend.
I mean, had to spend, I'm sorry. They had to spend $59 million.
And they need to spend some of it or they get penalized, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't spend.
They're going to sign somebody, man. They're going to make a move for you. They're going to make a move for you, Mr.
Like everybody say, the Atlanta Braves, but we'll see.
If they need to do something. They need to get a starting pitcher. That's what I think.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with Ask a Doc. Keep it locked.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta surgery centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.
This is Av Stanley, senior writer for the 3-Point Conversion, and you know I'm listening to Mr. Controversy and D Intellectual on the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Tell them what's going on.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Sorry. We have Dr. Donnie, or I'm sorry, Dr. Donald Fowler, the third.
Either one's good.
Orthopedic for Ortho Atlanta. How are you doing today, man?
Doing good. Good to be back in the studio this time.
You said you're upset about the Harper deal, right?
Yeah, I'm a DC native, so tough pill to swallow. I mean, I respect the guy, but going to a division rival like that is a little deep with the wound, but we'll see.
They offered him a lot, but they say a lot of it was deferred. Like he'll get it until he's 60. Yeah. I kind of get it. Like, dude, I want my money
Bobby
now.
Bonilla contract.
Right? Yeah, they tried to Bobby Bonilla.
Nah, and honestly he's earned the right to go and do what he wants to do. So,
why you gonna try to defer my money? Don't put me on layaway. let me get all my money now. Let me get all my money now.
That's crazy. Now, we asked you about these. We have to ask you about the injuries and why and who and what. Now, yesterday at the NFL Combine, Oklahoma State running back Justice Hill, he came out looking good. He ran a 4.4, led all running backs in every drill he participated in before coming up lame in the second 40 attempt. We see this a lot, how can players prevent this from happening? Is it more of what they're not doing beforehand or what they need to do, or is it just the power of luck?
Yeah, it's tough in these, especially speed athletes with that explosion. I think it was a hamstring for Hill, and it's pretty common. Certainly there are preventive measures you can take. Certainly warming up the right way. You usually want to at least jog and loosen up before you stretch. And then, of course, in preparation, you certainly want to be practicing 40s, at least the starts, that explosion kind of coming off the line, so it's not a shock to your body. we're doing new things with training techniques, stuff called eccentric exercises, where you're strengthening muscle as it's lengthening rather than contracting, and that tends to prevent against these injuries. So we're trying to change the way people prepare so it decreases, but some of it is still luck of the draw.
Yeah, I would think after knowing everything that he's done, you don't hold me back because I pulled up a little lame on my second 40. You know,
I mean, I read somewhere yesterday that the 4.4, the almost 11 feet in the broad jump, 40-inch vertical. There's only been one other running back in the last 15 years of the combine that's done that. Barkley.
Okay,
Barkley
yeah.
last
Come
year.
on, he sounds like he need to be the number one back off the board.
And I'm not saying he's going to be Saquon Barkley,
right?
But I'm just saying
hey,
I think he did enough that he'll be fine.
That's good. Now we know Zion hasn't come back yet. Zion Wilson from your Dukies haven't come back yet from injury. What would it take for him to be able to play again this season?
I mean, I think the short answer, he is going to play, but I think they want to be assured that he is 100%. Kind of on both sides. I don't think Coach K and Duke is the kind of team that is going to rush him back at the expense of his own health. They understand what's at stake for him down the road, and at the same time, Zion is an ultra competitor, loves Duke, loves his teammates, wants to be back out there. So I don't think there's any disconnect on it happening. I think it's just a matter of making sure he is truly 100%, so there's no risk for him injuring himself worse going into next year.
Putting him in the right drills, make sure he's cutting the right way.
Exactly, yeah.
Like
he's probably already been doing some of that cutting, change of direction stuff in practice. I wouldn't be surprised if they're completely cautious and even wait until the tournament to have him back out there when the games truly count. Now, in a perfect world, you get him back before then so you can hopefully start to mesh. But we'll just have to see. I know they've already announced that he's not playing today in the Miami game. So
even as you as a doctor, you can just see how he would do that drill, and you're able to see whether or not he should even be out there.
Correct.
Possibly.
Yeah, you can look at how they're moving, how they're landing, how they're cutting, and you can see those things.
Yeah, I think that I never knew so many Duke fans that believed in God. I heard a lot of prayers. Anyway, prayer, what they call it in the
prayer
morning?
Warriors.
Prayer warriors.
The prayer warriors came out.
Anyway,
please.
So let's move to baseball. We mentioned that baseball is coming up. Kansas City Royals catcher Salvador Perez. This is the 2015 World Series MVP, and he will possibly be out for the season after going through Tommy John surgery. How does that impact the catcher for the future? You know, you don't hear it that much with catchers. How would that impact him going forward?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't realize, catchers most of the time can throw almost as fast as pitchers. I mean, when they're throwing to second base, they're throwing mid-90s usually to get it there. So they're putting the same kind of stress on their arm, and it might not even be conditioned as well as a pitcher. So we do see it in catchers. There's just not the volume that you see it in pitchers. And it's one of those things that ulnar collateral ligament, or the Tommy John ligament that you hear everyone talk about. In throwing athletes, if you were to get an MRI on 100 guys that weren't having any symptoms, every single one of them is still going to show some signal and damage. So it's not whether you have it or you don't. It's, do you get it to the point where it starts to become symptomatic and affect your throwing ability and your velocity? And it seems like he injured enough the other day where it's at that point. And so if he has a surgery, he will be out for the entire year. I mean, we've kind of seen the protocol where most guys are getting back, maybe losing, a mile or 2 per hour off their velocity, but still being successful. I don't think it'll affect him as much as a catcher, as a pitcher, but it's so important for him to throw.
But okay, so I'm glad you said that, because with the catcher, so if he does that, like you said, it takes a mile or 2. Baseball, pitchers is different, I would think, because with pitchers, you got other stuff you can throw. Sinkers, you can throw curve, whatever. Whereas catcher, if I'm a base runner and I know you had Tommy John, Oh yeah, I'm about to try him.
No, but see, at that point, that's when you do something different. Like with Wilson Contreras, he as with most of the Cubs pitchers, right? Especially with John Lester, right? He can't throw the first and things like that. So you know what Wilson does? He snaps at the first after a pitch just to keep him closer. So it's going to be a lot of other things.
But even with that, though, but Wilson Contreras, he has an arm. He can do that. This guy's losing 1-2 miles per hour. So do you think that will just affect him? And I know you're not a GM, but as a GM, would you say, all right, maybe I shouldn't? I don't know if I should move. Maybe I should put him at DH or.
Yeah, I mean he's a bigger guy. He's not very fast. I could certainly see him becoming a DH one day, but I think it all depends on how he comes back. I think he is known for having one of the better arms in addition to a good bat. So I think we'll just have to see. The catcher for the Mets that was their starter, Travis d'Arnaud, is coming off the same thing last year, Tommy John surgery. So kind of see what happens with him. That might be a little bit of a blueprint to what will happen with Perez.
Well, how does that affect them as far as hitting? Because we always hear like with those kind of injuries, how it affects the arm, but how does it affect them with swinging a bat?
Yeah, not pretty. I mean, there's been research studies, not a whole lot on bat velocity or anything like that, because it's not the same kind of torque that you're putting on the elbow when you're throwing that you're coming through with a bat with your swing. So honestly, it really shouldn't affect him too much from behind the plate. It was the same discussion with the Japanese player for the Angels that was playing both ways, Ohtani, who had the elbow injury, and they were talking about shutting him down from pitching because of his ulnar collateral ligament, but still letting him DH and hit because it wasn't going to really affect that. So
now we know Kershaw has been held from throwing this spring because of his shoulder. Now we've been seeing, Kershaw on the injury list more than disabled list more than we've. Actually, they changed the injury list.
You got to be PC,
right?
Be PC.
Because the injury list more lately. Do you think it's more of a precaution, or do you think this is becoming something serious?
I mean, I think it's something. I'm a little nervous. I mean, I'm not a Dodgers guy, not a Dodgers fan, but if I was a Dodgers fan, I would be a little nervous because he's had injury issues over the last few years. Missed a lot of starts. I think in 2016 and then some last year too. The fact that he's already talking about soreness, and this wasn't even thrown off a mound, this was just playing catch, that he's already talking about soreness. Now there are reports now saying it's feeling better, but I mean, if your arm is already sore when you're just playing catch and not even thrown off a mound and the season hasn't even started, those are red flags to me. So certainly they are going to be precautious, but at the same time, it does make me a little worried about his health going throughout the year.
Yeah, that does, because
you haven't even threw a pitch.
If he, reality. I mean, because then I would call the Dodgers and say, hey, I don't pitch or anything like that. I'm not near being a pitcher, but I have the same problem.
You better
when
not
I play
put
when I play catch.
Yourself
when I play catch, look, when I play catch, my shoulder's messed up too.
That's because you're an older gentleman.
But my point is, they need that's concerned. If he going through the same thing I'm going through, I call Kershaw, have a drink with him. Hey man, I'm going through the same thing. I put icy hot on mine.
Well, you don't get out my face. I gotta make 25. I gotta make $20 million this year. Try to go for a World Series championship.
Yeah, but no, we appreciate you, Doc, for coming on. And once again, it's Dr. Donald Fowler III, orthopedic for Ortho Atlanta. And appreciate you for coming on, man. And, next week is the same thing.
Always glad to be here, guys.
Yes, sir. All right, we're going to be right back. We're going to be back with What's on Our Minds. Keep it here.
What's good, family? I'm Marlon Sucker Free Jones of Sucker Free Life Double LC, and I'm locked in every Saturday to the best sports show on the planet, the 3-point conversion, where no team or no player is off limits. So let's talk sports, the best of the best, the worst of the worst, and everything in between. Can you dig that?
It's time to get in the mind of Mr. Controversy and the Intellectual with What's on My Mind.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. All right, this next segment, What's on My Mind, is brought to you by Salad Express. Make sure you go check them out. So many choices. Steak, shrimp, salmon, tuna. Then they have all the fresh salads, lettuce, all the fresh toppings on it, fresh. I go there and eat all the time. Matter of fact, I might get in trouble, but I eat there twice. You know what I'm saying? So good. You know, got everybody eating there from a second job. So like, go check them out there. You can check them out on Mansell Road. Also on there at where you said?
Over there in Buckhead.
Buckhead. Yeah, go ahead and check them out.
What's that, off of Cheshire? I think it is off Cheshire.
And but the when I say it's great, go check them out. All right, so look, this is the segment What's on My Mind. This is where we talk about what's on our mind and what's bothering us or what we can't understand, what makes us laugh or whatever. It's just our chance to talk without getting interrupted. So let me tell you what's on my mind. So I keep feeling like I'm in the booth. Gee, you turn it up just a little bit so I can feel it just a little bit.
Drop a hot 16.
Yeah. All right. But no, what's on my mind? Looking at the NBA today, you look at all the great players that are playing and the superstars and the players that are leading the league and scoring, assists, and everything. When you think about it, everybody is... So I'm going to name some people like LeBron James, Giannis, James Harden. Who else I can name? I'm trying to think of a point guard. But we'll just stick with those three because I'm pretty sure Dame Dollar, Damian Lillard, if you don't know who I'm talking about, Kyrie Irving. But you have so many of these players that are great and can score and can do it all. But one thing they all have in common, I shouldn't say but, the one thing they have in common is they handle the basketball 20 seconds out of the 24 shot clock. Like they're running the offense. And it's great to see what Harden is doing. It's great to see what LeBron is doing, what Giannis is doing. And they're all listed, those three are listed as MVP candidates. You look at Golden State, within the system, they just play within the system. That's how they're taught. That's the scheme. And Curry is still averaging over 26, 27 a game. Durant is doing what he's doing, averaging 25 a game. But then look at Paul George, who has the ball for maybe, 6 seconds out the shot clock? And not because Russ is dominating, handling the ball, but just because, that's just the offense, is what they do. He's a point guard, Russ is, setting up everything. And Paul George is still an MVP candidate. Still, what is he averaging? I think like 26, 27 a game. Playing great defense. But on the offensive side, he doesn't do that. He doesn't need to do that. Paul George should be MVP. Nobody had them being number 3 in the league. Or in the West, I should say. And the way he's playing, and like I said, he doesn't handle the rock. And it's funny because he used to handle the ball like that in Indiana and he wasn't that good. Or he wasn't superstar status. But now that he has a point guard, he's there. And I think about, what if Jordan did it his first rookie year, that's why he was averaging like 500 points a game. But Jordan, what if like a Neek, I know that Neek didn't have those type of skills, but you had these players doing that back then. They would be doing the same thing that LeBron, Durant, Giannis is doing. Because it ain't like Giannis is a great passer. You know what I'm saying? Harden's not a great passer, but they play basketball. They have the ball the whole time. But going back, if Paul George had a chance to win MVP, it's right now, and I think he should get MVP. Why? He's putting up numbers the same way they're putting up, except for the assists because he's not asked to do that. And he only has the ball 6, 7 seconds out the shot clock. You know, just Giannis is great. I understand Giannis is very good, Harden and all those players. But just think if they didn't have the ball like that, where would they be? And that's what's on my mind.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. You know, that was going to be what's on my mind like 2 weeks ago. But I didn't bring it up. I think it was something more important for me to talk about that was on my mind.
So what you trying to say? What I said wasn't important?
No, it was something going on.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, it was something. It was something that was more on my mind. But he definitely, I agree with it. He's getting down. I think what's going to hurt him is this last week or so. I think he injured his neck, so he kind of slowed down. Right, but in the way Giannis, now it's Giannis and James Harden. And it's so close where James just scored 58. Giannis didn't really put up big numbers last night. So now James is a little bit above him. And so as Giannis have another big game, it's going to kind of go back there for a minute. So what's on my mind now? So I know we always talk about Mike being the GOAT, you know, greatest of all time. That's my man. That's who I go with. But a lot of people always kind of say, well, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. If you want to go off stats, then it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Well, what's on my mind is because last night while I was watching, the Lakers game, it was a little spot that talked about Wilt. You know, they talked about some of his accomplishments. So if you want to go off stats, we can go off some of the records that he owns. So first off, he owns 72 NBA records, and 68 of them are by himself. Now, I know one of the biggest things, as we say, is he played when no other centers was there or things like that. I know he started in the late 50s, but some of the centers that he did also play against is Bill Russell, Nate Thurman. Now, I know Willis Weary came late and Elvin Hayes came late, and some of the other ones. But he played against also some real good some good centers. Now, just a couple of the records that he holds. Of course, most points per game in a season, which was 50.4. He also holds the next three spots, just in case you were wondering. Most points in the season. Of course, we know about him most points scored in the game. He has the most 50-point games in the season with 45. Only Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant have more than 20 in their careers. Most 40 points game in the season. Most consecutive seasons leading the league in points per game. Shares that with Mike. Most career 60-point games. I think he's the only player to lead the league in rebounds and assists. He is the first most points by a rookie, most points per game by a rookie. It's so many records that he has where if you want to go off stats, then Kareem may not even be just the best. He's not if you're going to say he's the best player, he may not even be the best center if you're going to go just off stats. And again, I'm going to continue to say it because I know we talk about eras and how they played and things like that because Wilt didn't have players his size. But I don't think I can make that an argument anymore. Most seasons leading the NBA in free throw attempts. Most free throws attempted in the season. Most field goals in the games. I mean, it goes on and on and on. That is ridiculous. I think he had one season he had the most assists. He had the first double triple-double and only double triple-double, which means you had 20 points, 20 rebounds, or 20 assists. Like, everything that he has is ridiculous. So we started talking about Kareem being the best center. We also got to being the best player. We also got to wonder if he's even the best center, and that's what's on my mind.
Wow, it's a great argument. Double triple-double. Wow,
right?
That's something. All right. You hear that music, you already know what it means. It's time to let you go. Before I let you go, we have a couple of shout-outs, and hopefully you stay tuned because you might be a part of it. First of all, I want to give a shout-out to Almighty God for blessing me with this platform, this idea to create the three-point conversion. Blessed me with the staff, then with this radio show and everybody that works along with me. And then, like I said, just the platform to get on here and to make people mad, upset, want to give me the stop it button. All of that. I love it. I appreciate it. And, it's still unbelievable. Also, I want to thank my guests. I want to thank Deshaun Tate for coming on. And also, I want to thank, of course, Dr. Donnie Fowler III. Then I want to thank our sponsors, Seneca's Barbershop. I want to thank Sucker Free Life LLC. I want to thank Salad Express, and also Ortho Atlanta. And then I appreciate G. I appreciate you, man. And then my co-host, D Intellectual, appreciate you, bro.
Definitely, man. Always happy to come on here and do it again like we do every Saturday. I just want to thank everybody, friends, family, all the people that log in and listen to us every week faithfully. We definitely appreciate it. That's pretty much it.
All right. And to all my family and friends, cousins, aunties, uncles, children. Oh, big happy birthday to my daughter, Janae. She turns 21. Wow. Can't believe that. But anyway, happy birthday to her. And like I said, all family, friends. Make sure you love everybody. Let everybody know that you love them. Have a great weekend. Watch all of these sports. What's going on. Eat good. Love good. Till next week. Same time, same show. Same crazy host, same sports nonsense. Will you miss me? I'm out. Peace.
Peace.
You just got done listening to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts at the 3-Point Conversion. And also make sure you check out our website, the3pointconversion.com. Be sure to follow us live and listen every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern.